Dorothy, Alberta is a ghost town that is just about 30 minutes from Drumheller along the Red Deer River Valley. This area is often overlooked by tourists, but is one of the most photographed places in Alberta because of the two iconic historical churches. But Dorothy is much more than that. Let's explore all the buildings here and tour the interiors as well. Dorothy was a hamlet of about 100 residents in its prime. Today, there are less than 8 people living in the area. This small community sprang up around a post office ran by Percy McBeath, and he wanted to name the town after himself, Percyville. But the name was officially Dorothy, named after the daughter of a local rancher, Jack Wilson, who settled here in the 1900s. Dorothy's heydays were in the 1920s, when a rail line came right through town. 3 grain elevators suddenly sprang up, of which one remains today. A general store, a pool hall, a butcher shop, a telephone room, a schoolhouse, 32 houses, and 2 churches sprang up between 1908 and 1937. When coal started to phase out, so did Dorothy, and today we see the remains of what was. Right now, we are driving east from Drumheller on Highway 570. We went past the exit to the Wayne Ghost Town and past the Atlas Coal Mine. When the valley opens up slightly, you will see a bridge on your right, a grain elevator on the left, and a tiny sign that says Dorothy. Take the exit before town. The road here is gravel, but is well suited for any automobile. There is a park here for children, a rest area, some picnic tables and benches, and a washroom. This little rest area is perfect, but if you would like to stay longer, there is a bed and breakfast as well as a campground nearby. Remember, if you visit, be very considerate of the people that still live here. Respect their privacy and don't trespass. Also, respect all the buildings and the artifacts within them. This community is allowing us to enjoy history firsthand at no cost. We will be wandering about town and going inside every building, so enjoy this unique area with us. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy videos like this, click that like button and consider subscribing so that you don't miss any future videos. When you travel through the Drumheller area and the Badlands of Alberta, you will notice that some areas look amazing, especially during sunset and sunrise. But on this trip, we are midday, so the sun is pretty high, skies are slightly blue, there's a little smoke in the air because of the wildfires in BC and northern Alberta. But we're going to take a look at Dorothy and see what it has to offer. Now, during this road trip through here, you will notice that there is a couple signs here posted to see which direction you need to go, but the Dorothy sign is actually pretty small, so you might actually miss it. We just passed it. So as you approach, you'll see a couple buildings on the right, you'll see that grain elevator, and then you want to start to slow down because this is your turn right onto this gravel road. Some people miss it, they have to turn around. There's no really good spot to turn around up ahead, so you're gonna have to do that on the highway if you do miss this road. This gravel road is not too bad. We're actually driving in a small little Honda Fit and it's doing quite well. So you don't need an all-wheel drive vehicle or a 4x4 to get here. Now, Dorothy is spread out. There is one location that has the general store and the frontage area on First Ave, and then First Street actually has the churches in the back and the little camping area where people do picnic as well as camp during the summer months if allowed. Now, as we're coming down this street here, this is First Ave. So that's the general store up ahead. Right next to it and in the general store itself was the post office itself. This general store closed down in the 1960s, so we're going to park here. We see the grain elevator, some old cars in the distance, a garage in the distance as well. So this used to be the general store and grocer. There is a historical plaque up front. Just be careful in the steps. There's no railing. The interior of this area is just littered with stuff. So we're not going to be able to get inside this building because it is totally packed. The doors are open on the back side, but it is boarded up. So we're going to respect the privacy of the stuff that's in this building, but we'll definitely go inside the other buildings. Now on the left here was the post office. It's no longer with us. The original one, that is. And then it moved over to that grocery general store. We got an old vehicle here and a garage as well. Now there was no gas station here. It was a tire shop, a repair shop for motor vehicles passing through this area. A lot of farm equipment too was repaired here because they had the tools to do so. Now, as we walk this way, we go to the edge of town. That fence right over there, that's the edge of town. So there was houses along these routes here on either side. Those houses, unfortunately, are no longer with us. Now, if you go around this corner, there is a private residence, so we're going to respect that private area. So we're not going to go down the road to the left. We're just going to check out this unique area right here. You can see they put up a sign that says local traffic only because they don't want people coming into their yard. It really just loops around, goes to their houses. There's nothing really back there. But I thought this was very odd. There's radios, there's CB radios, there's kids' telephones in the telephone booth. It is actually quite amusing to see. Kind of weird, but fun. So let's head back. We're going to head back on First Ave, and we're going to go towards the area that we first started at. Now it does get really windy out here. I'm sorry about that. Some of the residents do have dogs. You got to mind the dogs if they do come up to you. So let's drive down First Street towards the two churches. You'll see the Catholic Church on the left and the other church on the right. So you can see the roads aren't that bad. We're not bouncing around. We got a tiny little car. You can see the beautiful vistas in the background. It really looks amazing during sunset and sunrise. So I highly recommend you come here early in the morning, be very quiet, not to wake anybody up, and check this area out. So the first church we're going to check out is the Catholic Church. We're going to go inside, look at the interior. Now this one has been restored, which is absolutely amazing. I've been here when it was totally decimated, and there was holes in the roof and the floor. But today it is totally safe to walk through. Again, just respect everything in these buildings. There has been some thefts of artifacts in this church, which is kind of odd, but it does happen. But if you do visit, just respect everything. You can walk around, you can touch things, look at things. Just leave things in place. You can see the big stove that would heat up this area. Winters get very, very cold here into the -40s. And we got our confession booths that are still standing. These are from 1938. So they were built for another church, and then they were brought to this church and used up until the 1960s. I confess my bad sound quality, sorry. With the lighting that's in this church, I guess you'd be able to see who's confessing. So there wouldn't be that much privacy. So that's looking out the window towards our other church, so let's go check this one out. This one has had some storm damage from the outside. But it was one of the first churches they repaired here. So this one was repaired before the other church. Needs a little bit of a paint job, but the interior is fantastic. And this is a totally safe area to explore, especially if you have children or if you're elderly. So this church has been used up until the late 1960s. And currently you could still operate a church here or have a wedding or a gathering as well. The community association does open these churches up for that. The next building we're going to check out is the community hall. Now, there's also a school in here, so it's kind of interesting. In the community hall, there's a lot of artifacts as well, so you can touch them, you can look at them. You can look at all the pictures and plaques and historical stuff along the walls as well. It's actually very interesting. This area is actually used today, so if there's a function going on, if there's a community event, they still use this community hall. Even people from Drumheller come down to use this hall as well because it is quite large. So there is a lot of historical artifacts and pictures, so you can check out the history of Dorothy and the area. Now there is some random stuff in here. So we're entering the little schoolhouse that's attached right to the community hall. There's some chalk here. There's a big bar that belonged to one of the restaurants. And there's this really old piano. So a lot of people write messages on the chalkboard saying where they're from. It's kind of like a guest book. Again, if you do visit these areas and you do go inside these houses and these buildings, just remember to close the doors tight because the wind is blowing pretty good in this area. Now, this is an old cabin that we're looking at from 1897. It's an original cabin, and we're going to check out the interior. A lot of antiques, table set up, and a small guest book if you'd like to sign. Amazing stove here. An old radio, rocking chair. That's about it. It was pretty simple, and a bed in the corner. Very cozy. So just a simple one-room cabin. That's all you need. There are some benches scattered about so you can rest, but the next cabin we're going to go to see is much older. So this one's almost like a trapper's cabin. It is very, very tiny, about half the size of the first one that we saw. Again, it's all original. Let's check out the interior here. Big stove, couple beds, and that's it. Little kitchen area to wash up. You'd need that stove and a lot of firewood. Keep yourself warm in this area. And that's it. A whole family would live in this little tiny cabin. And here we see some original ranchers back in the day. Now there's a lot of farming equipment around scattered about if you'd like to take a look at. There's also some older cars that are abandoned. The grain elevator, the park, and the public washrooms are just over there where we can see them in the distance. Just be careful walking along. There's a lot of gopher holes as well, so you could trip in one of these holes and sprain your ankle or break your ankle. There's also prairie rattlesnakes about, depending on the season and where you are, so also keep an eye on the ground for those. And that's about it. This is a really cool place to visit. Really fun for adults and children alike because they do have the older park there and some older artifacts to take a look at. A great piece of Alberta history, totally free to check out. So I encourage you, go visit Dorothy Ghost Town. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.